Right, everybody, we've made it to the end of Season 3, and of course, it's finished with disappointment, a little bit now of despair, so we really need to change things up of Season 4. We've had our worst ever points total, scored the least amount of goals, conceded too many, and we've finished well into the bottom half, only 5 points above relegation. So things need to change in order for this save and team to kick on. We really need to have a really good, solid, better than solid, it needs to be better than solid. We need to have an exceptional transfer window to kick this team into the top half of the Eredivisie, and I'm going to show you in today's video how I'm going to do it. Alright guys, let's get into it. Okay, so before we dive into the recruitment focuses and the whole scouting setup that I've changed at the football club, I'm just going to show you the end of the season. So, I think last episode we were in and around here, and then since then we played 10 games. The last 10 games, we won 1, drew 2, lost 7, and we scored in only 2 of those games. So, major worries is the attacking third. I did kind of say in the last video, we really need to strengthen in those attacking areas. I'm kind of happy with the defence, with what we go with a back 4 or back 3. Yes, there's maybe a couple of places we need to do as sort of like backups, squad rotation, that sort of thing. But generally, the main focus is going to be on those attacking 3 or 4 positions in the side. I've set up 2 new tactics. Well, 1 new tactic, 1 sort of like tweaked tactic. We're going to go with 4 at the back next season as well. I'm going to show you the tactic in a minute. However, this is where we finished Season 1. So as you can see, 10th position, 47 points. Eredivisie second season, 11th, 39 points. Third season, 35 points, 13th, well below where we wanted to finish. You know, we've excelled in the first 2 seasons. The board are very happy, but they want a little bit more now. They were very happy that we've now been established as an Eredivisie club. We've never really been sucked into this bottom third, but we need to have a really aggressive transfer market. And the only way we're going to be able to do that is to really find some top talent. Now, I'm not going to spend hours and hours and hours searching through all teams across all the leagues across Europe. Remember, I have all the players basically from top divisions in Europe and South America. We want to do something with a little bit more realism. And since me doing the scouting video last week, the recruitment focus, I thought I need to bring this over to my main save. Go check that video out as well. It'll show you how to set it up. But in today's video, I'm going to show you how I'm going to set up the recruitment focus. We've changed the backroom recruitment staff as well. Very important. In particular, the areas that they are good at scouting in, the areas of knowledge across the world. Very important. I'm going to show you how I put that team together and what we're going to do about the scouting budget. Now, the scouting budget at the moment is allowing us to scout in just Central Europe, which probably is okay for an Eredivisie team. It is costing us 10 grand a month, 120 grand a year. For Season 4, for the start of pre-season, we're going to have that 360k, which is way above our budget. You know, the budget initially for next season is 120k again. So what we're going to do about that? Now, if you didn't know, I imagine all of you know, you can move transfer money across. Now, we don't want to move all of it across from this budget because we're going to have no money to offer players, in particular free transfers, sort of like signing on fees, etc. I can't imagine us still signing any players. However, with that, we need to generate some income, and we're going to be doing that. Antonucci is going. Looks like he's going to be done 500k, raising to 900k. So that is one out the door. And we've also got, where is he? Kuipers is wanted by Willem 2, and he's rated 700k. So even if we get 500k for a player that wants to leave past his best, even though he's the captain, I'm very happy to get that. So with that money, we can then do 2 things with it. Number 1, we can increase our playing budget in terms of wages. We're going to still try to track loanees, trying to track free transfers. It's the way that we're going to work, I think, for now. And then number 2, we're going to increase the scouting knowledge to the world. So then we can scout, look ahead. You know, we haven't got much money in terms of fees. However, if you remember, Nduka Jr., probably our most valued football player at the club. Yes, we got him. Oh, no, maybe not. Yeah, he is. 8.2 top. We paid nothing for him. And there is a few players in and around Africa that you can get for free. So, we may get the option of getting those lucky ones in. But what it is going to do over time is set us up for when we do have a little bit of money to spend, get into Europe, potentially sign some, not wonder kids, but exciting young players that we could potentially sell on. We're going to look around Europe as well in terms of what are Tottenham doing, what are Manchester United doing, who are they releasing. But then what we'll do is we'll get our scouts, our new scouting team, to really dive into the recruitment focus. So I'm going to introduce you to the new recruitment team and explain why we have done it. So last season we had Chief Scout, 3 scouts. We've extended it to 4. Chief Scout's contract was going out, and 2 others were going out as well. The contracts were running out. We've actually released them early because we're in June, and we've already sorted our new backroom staff out. We've got 2 recruitment analysts in. I'm still not quite sure what these do, apart from offer different scout reports, I think. Be interesting to know, let me know down in the comments. But let me introduce you to the team. Alan Terzic, he is the brother of Edin Terzic, who's the manager of Borussia Dortmund. In terms of real life, this is a brilliant appointment, I think. You know, getting someone who is scout for Dortmund, manager as well, so coaching capabilities, but at the same time, tremendous FM attributes. 15 judging player ability, 18 judging player potential, 17 adaptability. Now, this is where we're going to focus, and I focused putting my team together. I have focused on different parts of the world as much as I possibly can. I still want to extend. Every time I get the opportunity to extend our scouting team now, I'm going to extend it and really push this recruitment focus and scouting team for us to be able to pick up some absolute bargains. Remember, we can't compete with the big boys, so we need these boys to find some players that other teams can't find. That is the key. So, obviously, complete scouting knowledge of Germany, Croatia, very good for wonder kids, Austria, Switzerland, Poland. Definitely in and around Europe, some players that we could potentially pick up there in some lower leagues as well, where we may be able to afford a few little transfer fees. Henk Grimm is the only scout that has stayed with us. He is 15 and 15 towards the end of his career, 63. He's been with us for a couple of seasons. However, he's got a complete knowledge of the Netherlands. He's going to be based in the Netherlands. He's not going to be jetting around the world. I don't think he does have a little bit of scouting in Belgium. Oh, outstanding knowledge of Belgium. So he may head over there because, once again, another nice place for wonder kids. Very good in terms of Scandinavia. However, we have brought someone else in. And Aruba. And is it correct? I'm not even going to pronounce it. I'm going to leave that one there. Not going to really bother with them. But Netherlands, complete knowledge. He's going to be looking in particular the second tier. See if there's any players in there, once again, that we can kind of poach from the smaller teams. Next one, Mathieu Sekinger. He is French, however, has an exceptional knowledge of, not only obviously complete knowledge of France, Belgium and Spain, and interestingly, Ivory Coast in Senegal. Remember at the start of the video we talked about Nduka Jr. getting in from Nigeria on a free. There is a few clubs scattered across Africa that do develop really good. Not so much, well, there will be wonder kids. There will be wonder kids come from there. Can we pick them up first? We do need to generate. I don't want it to be a bit of a small club where we're just buying players to sell on. I don't want to do that, but we haven't really sold anything yet. We do need to have a couple of players every couple of years that we maybe buy and sell on and make a large profit just to help us balance the books. And it may then give us the opportunity to really reshape the squad. Every season, I could literally go out and sign a whole new squad that are interested in coming to me and being a lot better than what we've currently got. However, finances are really stopping that. So a couple of big sales will really help us, I think, kick on. And interestingly, a scout that has been at big clubs as well, Manchester United and Marseille over the last few seasons. 16 judging player ability, 17 player potential. Very, very good. Nuno Felix, only 14 and 13 in terms of his knowledge, his scouting knowledge, but I'd still class that as good. However, Portugal, so a new country, Germany that we spoke about, France, but the reason why I've got Nuno in, because he has an outstanding knowledge of Brazil and an outstanding knowledge of Argentina and Colombia. This is important because when we're going to make that scouting world, we're going to really try and make use of our, hopefully, some transfer income to do that. He's going to be heading off to South America in the summer as soon as we get some money in to reshape the scouting budget. And the last one is Tobias Ackerman, previously of AIK, really just left them over the last year or so. He is Scandinavian. Now, we do have one of the others, Henk, but remember, he's going to be based just in Netherlands. So I wanted someone to go to Scandinavia. You know, their leagues are not as big as ours. There is a lot of nations all around in the same area. There's 5 that he's very good at scouting. And I just think we could potentially, once we get a little bit of money, you know, we can afford to spend maybe 500 grand, $1 million, 2 million, up to maybe 5 million on a player, on a young player that we can maybe double potentially in the future and really drive us on. I think maybe Scandinavia is a really good place to start. So that's why we brought him in. So we're kind of covered. Europe, we're kind of covered. Yes, we haven't got leagues such as Italy, but what I'm planning to do with them while we build up our scouting knowledge is I'll just go around a couple of the clubs and just see what they're releasing. I think realistically we can maybe sign a couple of young players that are maybe released from the big teams in the Bundesliga, Serie A, and the Premier League. Now, at the moment, I've already got the scouts working. When the budget kind of changes in maybe a month's time, in a couple of weeks' time, we will change it over. So, into the recruitment focuses ourselves, we have just got a few that I've set up right now. I've not really set anything in terms of positions. I'm not really wanting them to, go and find me a new right back. What I want them to do is go into the countries, find players. We've put it all at 3-star, so there's going to be some players that we're going to probably ignore. I think as time goes on and our scouting network gets bigger and number of scouts, then we'll try and hone it in a little bit, making sure, at the moment, if we're going to Dutch youth, they're kind of giving me players that are at PSV Eindhoven. We're not going to be able to sign them, but you never know. There may be players that get released, like Leandro Mogala, right? Very, very good youth team player. Is he going to get a go at Ajax now he's 20 years old? I'm going to say no. And I think when his contract runs out, he's going to be available on a free transfer. So players like that are going to be massive for us. Players that are getting released from these bigger clubs, maybe not quite at it, and we can pick them up. That will help us over the next 2 seasons as we're really looking to build in terms of getting some young players in once again. A little bit of sell-on value. If we get players like him in Magala, we'll be able to really sell on and make a little bit of money at the same time. So the recruitment focuses are all really basic. I'll just show you one for instance. If we go into the Dutch youth, we always start half-star minimum current just because we get young players, a lot of even wonder kids can start with a half-star. So we've gone with that. Any position from the tactic, if there's an awesome left winger, we might be able to change its role. The tactics that we've set for the new season, I'll show you at the end of the video. We're not looking at playing wingers, but I still think it's important to get a base just in case we change. You never know, we may change down the way. Any role suitability, obviously. Transfers and loans. Netherlands country. And then what I've done is I've assigned my scout that I want to that recruitment focus. So obviously Henk Grim, we're in Netherlands, he's my Dutch scout, he's going to be scouting in there, and obviously for this one, Dutch youth, we've got a maximum age of 20. Okay, so similar, we've got Scandinavia in because obviously we've got scouts in Scandinavia, we've got a scout that's going into Central Europe, and we've also got a scout that is just looking at the UEFA European Championship. You never know, something might pop up. Has anything popped up yet? Yes, it has. There's a few in there already. Once again, Mogala set up. One's like this. I don't know if he's any good. He's okay, average, but you never know what we might find in some of these Scandinavian countries as well. So that will change. I will show you in Sunday night's video. We'll start of a new season. Sunday's video will go through transfers, how summer's gone, how we've potentially looked, how we're potentially looking for the new season, and then what I have built with the new scouting budget in terms of how my scouts are going about their business. I think all of the recruitment focuses will be ongoing, and then as I said, when we really need something, we'll then, as we get bigger scouting, we'll then have a few scouts that are just doing those top priority works. Can you go find me a right back? Can you go find me a centre forward? But at the moment, these guys are building up a pool of players. And if you look in here, scouted players, we're already on 851. And that is now just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Now, they've already brought this guy to me, Brandon Peric, who is going to get released by the looks of it by final. We're not going to pick him up because he's technically quite average, but he is along the lines of the sort of players that we'd look to sign from getting released from these big clubs. We're not playing with wingers, hence why he's not one. But he's on our radar. You never know when we might need to pick him up. And as I said, all these players, Bayern 2, Dortmund 2, really good places to pick up young, exciting players. Here's another one, Christopher Nawaze, defender. Yes, he's not at the standard, but once again, really cheap. These Nigerian players are very cheap to pick up. Little tip for you there. Look at Africa, in particular Nigeria, for some players. So that is the recruitment focus. We'll go Sunday's video, as I said, we'll go through it. We'll show you what we've picked up and how it has worked. Now, diving into the tactic. This is what we are going to play from season 4. This is what we're going with. We've got a back 4, similar things in terms of progression, how we're keeping the ball. I want us to stay the same. I want our where our ball-heavy, possession-heavy system is going to stay. But what we need to do is try and get more attacking players into the attacking third. Our key passes, I think, if we just look at the stats for the season, once again, really high on possession, 57%. I'm going to transfer all the info over to that spreadsheet. However, I'm not going to do it this season because it's been a season of disappointment. So what I will do is I'll transfer the info over, so don't worry. And then at the end of season 4, we'll have a look at how we've progressed from season 4, where we've picked up 9 players compared to this season, which is obviously season 3. So that is that high possession. But once again, I just don't think we're doing enough with it. Goal-wise, bottom, which is really disappointing. We're turning into a bit of Graham Potter's kind of Brighton, where it was a lot of ball, not enough in terms of taking chances or creating chances. Creating chances 11th. So in and around that middle third. Look, Emmen, 48 chances created, but they did score. I don't know how many they actually scored from that. 34. Clinical. High intensity sprints, down a little bit. Still decent numbers. We're working hard. I do think having more players in that attacking from central midfield, attacking midfield and striker next season with that system will help with this. And passes into the final third, we've dropped way off. So down in 11th. So we are passing, but we just keeping it and eventually losing possession in that middle third. So we need to be a little bit more clever. We need to improve the quality. And what I think is this tactic is definitely going to help us. We're still going to play out, obviously, from the back. We're going to focus on keeping the ball, but deep line playmaker. Now, I'm going to be brave. We're going to give Niek de Jong, a player that we signed at the end of season 1, to be that man that sits in there. Because we really need to focus on these attacking areas, I think I'm going to give him an opportunity. If we just look, and he looks really nice in the match engine, he gets it off the back 4, and he switches the ball out to the fullbacks, sometimes clips one over the top as well for strikers. Really good, intelligent player. Passing 16, technique 15, vision 16, determination 17, natural fitness good, balance, not so much his deep line playmaker. Yes, tackling, not great. To be fair, tackling 11, not bad. Strength, not great. But I don't really want him to be a ball. He's in there for when we have possession of it. Can he create? Can he do those progressive passes to get us into that final third a little bit more often, but perhaps as well a little bit quicker? And then into the midfield, we're kind of covered. We've got some good players. If we just very look quickly, players such as Mouvier will go in there. Hove, decent enough. He'll probably be a starting Mazzala. That's what I'm planning on there unless something comes up. Keeper, we've signed Mulder to another year, but I do think we probably need to get another keeper in because I do want our young, not wonder kid, but our young good player, Ben Seger, who's a potential 5-star. I do want him to be the reserve team goalkeeper next year. So try and get maybe another player in. Wing back, I'm quite happy with Dina Mbembe. I don't think I'm going to try and sell him. I don't think anyone's going to come in for that. And we'll give him another season. I think at right back, he did struggle when he went up into midfield into that right wing slot. So we'll give him a go at right back. Back 4 is sorted. Junior and Gus Bars with Serrano, our left back. We do need to strengthen. We need a new centre back in as backup and a new potential left back in as backup as well, but only backups, not major. And then into these attacking areas, we're getting rid of Antonucci. Williamson and Romens are going to be backup players next season. So we need to sign, I think, 4 players in these 3 positions. 4 players. I also want to try and pick up I think the problem in the past with the shadow striker was we've tried to play like a playmaker there who's quite good at it, who it says he's natural at it. I would like to find someone who is a little bit more attacking in terms of a centre forward who can play it. And he might just have a little bit more in terms of those attacking number 9 attributes that we want. We want our shadow striker to be scoring double figures. We don't want him to be really much of a playmaker. We want him to be aggressive, getting in behind, finishing off chances, maybe good off the ball, good positioning, that sort of thing for the shadow striker to find good areas in and around the penalty area. I don't really need to get him in here and start playing pretty passes. He's going to be an aggressive runner. Fingers crossed we can find that. And then the playmaker is just someone who has, a bit like Niek de Jong, the vision, the technique, of a decent age as well. We don't want to be going out and signing players of, the Diego Tardelli, 34, 35, 37 was he? He might even been 37. And then we need a presser. Now, unfortunately, we've got 4 strikers. None of them have really hit the ground running. Tedic, 3 goals in 22 appearances. I've transfer listed him. No one wants him. He's going to be a backup. We've got 2 more seasons with him. Fingers crossed. I'm quite happy for him, Uldrikis, and Noel to go out on loan somewhere for the rest of their contracts. I will try and do that because, by the way, as well, they're on big money. Tedic was on 8. Noel was on 575. And Uldrikis, I think, as well, is on a pretty penny. He's on 8 as well. Big chunks of money I've wasted there because of how I wanted to play last season. We're trying to get 2 big boys up front. And also, I saw the potential in him because he scored a shit ton of goals. And, we may have to go with some of these as backup, but what we are going to do is not sign players in the attacking area because we've got too many. If I end up with 6 strikers and I make these guys unhappy, Uldrikis, Noel in particular, go into the reserves. Tedic is a little bit more of an all-rounder, maybe a little bit useful, but we've also got K. Moser, which I'm undecided. If we sign 2 strikers in the summer, I'm going to try and get him out on loan somewhere, maybe in the second tier, to have a season of scoring goals. If I only sign 1 striker, then what I'll do is I'll keep him as a backup. I'm hoping that my central striker can maybe play. I've got my eye on Sydney Van Hooijdonk, who is Pierre Van Hooijdonk's son and can do both roles. He is a centre forward, but can do both roles. I have got my eye on him. His contract is up at the end of the season. Fingers crossed we can afford him because that'd be one player that I would like to bring in. All right, guys, that is it. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the recruitment focus and the ideas and thoughts behind it. Let me know what you do. Hopefully it's been useful for you. And as I said, let me know down in the comments if the recruitment ideas that I've come up with. I've kind of done it in the mind of realism and how I think it kind of works and how you would expect it to work. Not that I've tried to do something to suit FM. All right, I never do stuff to suit FM. I want to be as immersive with the save as possible, and I think trying to obviously get scouts in areas where they should be scouting, trying to increase that transfer budget over to the scouting budget and be quite realistic that way, and using the money that we're getting to really look long term. This is a long term save. Hopefully in a couple of years we're going to have a little bit of money to sign these fantastic young players that will come through in those recruitment focuses. All right, guys, take care. We'll see you on Sunday, 7 o'clock, new season, season 4. Fingers crossed we can have a really good transfer window. We need it because we need to get these boys going. All right, guys, take care. See you later.